তবে একলা চলো রে।
No, never. Success never came easily. I mean, I'm not that lucky either. In those days, there was a foreign exchange restriction in India, and you are only allowed about £3 per person, and both of us we got £6 in our pocket, and with the £6 coming to Heathrow from airport, in our case we came by ship. By sea, and came to Victoria, and from Victoria to wherever I wanted to live, the taxi fare is more than £6, so it was not a very pleasant time.
There were days when we boiled one egg, we'll split it into two halves. She had the other one half and I had the other one, and couldn't afford anything more expensive than liver sausages until I got absolutely allergic towards liver sausages. And so but that was how we lived.
There was no central heating. We used to live in a single room, a bed in one corner, and the oven in another corner.
My salary was £13 something weekly. Out of that, 10 shillings is a lot of money.
Our job is to load and unload the van. It was quite heavy. We never did this type of job, so it was loading the van and unloading the van. And it was a good money and tax-free, you know.
You'll cook curry, my house will smell, and the valuation will go down.
So whenever we used to look for an accommodation, there used to be on the advertisement, no Indian, no Irish, no children, and no curry.
No, in my case actually, my wife is a doctor, so we didn't have to face any hardship. Because initially we were hospital doctors and we were quite comfortable.
We came because we are giving job voucher, so it was not really that difficult to get any jobs. It is the junior jobs, that's why they need it in this country, or needed, and still they need.
And in those days there was no law as such, whether the equal opportunity, buzzwords you can see it these days. So it was a difficult time.
খাঁচার ভিতর অচিনি পাখি কমনে আসে যায়, খাঁচার ভিতর অচিনি পাখি কমনে আসে যায়।
Our accent was different, right? And our way of living was different. And English was our second language. Naturally, it was difficult to find out a job.
They were racially prejudiced, and I went to Selfridges for a job. They wouldn't give it to me. They said, oh, you're colored, so you don't give it to you. So that was a particular time I knew that I'm colored. So it's so difficult. It is not like England, you are seeing it now.
There was a chap who came to the as a trainee. He seems to be very, very well dressed and well spoken, sort of public school accent and so on. And I gave him a little task to do. He came back after a while. He didn't quite do it. So I said, you should do this way. And he looked at it. He didn't see what I was saying. He looked at my face for a while, quite a while. And then he said, 100 years ago, you'd have polished my shoes. And I never ever expected to hear that kind of reply from anybody, whatever upper caste you come from.
Because of their skin, they are superior. I don't agree.
So am I a bit of Hindu, a bit of Muslim, or a bit of Bengalis? What am I?
Packy. তখন আমি নিতাকে বললাম, নিতা তুমি কি আনসার করলে? নিতা বললে, আফটার অল আই হ্যাভ গট এ জব, আর আমার মেয়ে ডাক্তার। ফিলিংস এখনো আছে, কিন্তু বড় ডিপ ডাউন নিচে আছে। যারা বলে যে আমি বেঙ্গলি, আমি কোনোদিন ওদের কাছে কোনো পাইনি, তারা ডাহা মিথ্যে কথা বলে। নো ওয়ে।
ন্যাশনাল ফ্রন্টের একটা ভয় ছিল। ন্যাশনাল ফ্রন্ট মানে আমাদের এশিয়ান লোকদের দেখলে পাখি বলে, এই বলে, এবং ইভেনচুয়ালি একদিন এরকম হয়েছে, পাটনি হাই স্ট্রিটে আমি হেঁটে যাচ্ছি, দুটো ছোট ছোট সাদা ছেলে আর একটা কালো ছেলে হেঁটে যাচ্ছিল আমাকে দেখে বলে, "এই ইউ ব্লাডি পাকি, why don't you go back to your country?"
The place like this, you have a history of hostility towards migrant community, as you know. And I think that Bangladeshi community is the first community that has actually made a home in this area. So that shows the tenacity of Bangladeshi people and their confidence with the community that they live in.
The local patients, they preferred us, the Indian doctors, to look after them than any other overseas doctors, because they could correlate with us. Because Indian doctors, they speak good English.
I think maybe 10 years ago more so than now. I think now, more that I'm a woman, I face more kind of prejudices than as an Asian person, particularly in my profession.
তোমাকে তো বলেছি কলকাতা, তোমার অভিমানী চোখ আমাকে আর ধরে রাখতে পারে না, তোমার রূপ আমাকে বিরূপ করেছে। আমার দুই প্রেয়সী, খণ্ডিত প্রেম, কলকাতা লন্ডন ভাগ করে নিয়েছে আমার অমৃত ভাণ্ডার।
I came here to study, and at that time, obviously, I have no intention to settle in this country forever.
I came here to study full-time business management. After finishing business management, I had some other professional qualifications, and I started my working life after that.
I haven't decided to come to UK. It happened to happen. I got married. My husband, who became a student of chartered accountancy, he came to study here, and I had to follow him.
Well, there weren't very many Bengali speaking people in this country at that time. There are only a handful of Bengalis from India who were either doctors or teachers. I believe I knew only of one engineer from Calcutta. And then there are some Bangladeshis who were mostly working class people. Many of them had jumped ship in Liverpool, Cardiff or Portsmouth and used to work clandestinely.
We were all Pakistanis. Suddenly it became another country. Naturally, then we decided what we should do. We decided that sometimes we must be in London, then we will think. But then after that, it is going on and going on.
So that is at the time of the Naxalites problems in Calcutta. And so that was quite a deterrent factor for us to go back.
The difference is in Bangladesh, in India. Suppose I am a doctor, I know that this person needs this medicine. I prescribe, but they had no money to buy it. But when I joined the National Health Service, I found I could prescribe the same medicine to the richest person in this country and a pauper who hasn't got anything.
স্মৃতি নয়ে তো ঝরা ফুলে যেন ভালোবাসা ভরা তোমারই মম।
I think it was in 1954 or 54, I went to Wimbledon wearing a sari and just like a Bengali girl. And I was absolutely stunned the way I was welcomed by everybody. Pictures were taken, and that was a wonderful thing in my life. I never thought I could be so glamorous.
The company went past, so what to do? So he had in mind to do something for me because they couldn't pay me and the company was in liquidation. So he used to come here and say, look here Doc, my nickname is Doc here, you see. Doc, I couldn't pay you 3 months salary, etc., etc., and a lot of mental agony. You keep this car with you. That was Rolls-Royce sports model. I said, look here, young man, if I put Rolls-Royce outside this door, income tax people will be after me. And he said, there are other jobs for them to do, so you keep it in. If anything goes wrong, I will take care of that, and I shall be sending you 20 pounds worth of postal order every week. So you, with that 20 pounds, you buy petrol and go to Folkestone for your swimming training.
রান্না করতে হবে, দেশে তো সরষের তেলে রান্না খেয়েছি, অক্সফোর্ড স্ট্রিটটা চষে বেরিয়েছি, কোথাও সরষের তেল পাওয়া যায় না। একজনা বললেন যে তুমি যেতে যাও, ওই বুটসের দোকানে যাও, বুটসে ওষুধ বিক্রি করে। গেলাম, ওরা বলে দেখো মাস্টার্ড অয়েল তো নেই, আমাদের কাছে একটা আছে পিওর মাস্টার্ড এক্সট্রাক্ট, তো মানে ওটা তো গায়ে মালিশ করার জন্য বাঁচা হলে। আমি বললাম দেখি, আমি 2 আউন্সের একটা কিনলাম, কিনে ওটা সিল ভাঙলাম, শোকে দেখলাম ঠিক সর্ষের তেল। তারপরে ওই মানে দেয়ালের দিকে দাঁড়িয়ে যদি মরে যায়, একটু জিব্বা দিয়ে দেখলাম একদম অবিকল সর্ষের তেলের স্বাদ। আরো 2 শিশি কিনে নিয়ে চলে গেলাম এবং সে তার দিয়ে মুরগি রান্না করলাম।
So this is 73 I'm talking, and as Bengali, we are frantically looking for a fresh fish, which wasn't available anywhere, and until 4 months have gone, and then a friend rang suddenly from a distance that he has found one, and we got excited and told him, please make it. I didn't have a car then, he didn't have a car either, and I said, can you make it somehow? And he did make it, and we had a real great feast that day.
And then he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm looking for a job. He said, what are you studying? I said, look, I nearly finished my accountancy exam, still 1 or 2 more papers to do. He said, can I buy you a drink? I said, yes, you can buy me a drink. And then he bought me a drink. He said to me, look, I give you a telephone number, and you phone this guy, he might be able to help you. They interviewed me. After the end of the interview, I found out that Dennis Hamilton was the managing director of the company where I'm going to take up a job. And fortunately, I got the job. So basically, I got the job in the pub.
আমায় ভাষাইলি রে